We've spoken to a lot of people who are at the $1 million per month mark in their business now. We are always looking for how do they spend their time? Because ultimately, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So how the hell are they getting so much more done than me? Like, what does their day look like? How are they actively spending their time?
We've put $50K budget into promoting this 3-day challenge. If you don't take big swings, you will never get big results. And the bigger the swings you take, the bigger results you get. Spending $50K on something without an actual return is like a huge investment.
Totally.
Like that's a deposit on a house for a lot of people. So like I'm a little bit nervous about that because that does come down to me, I guess. Today we're talking about how to make more money in your business in 2026. Banger of an episode ahead. Steph, how are you feeling?
I am feeling a little bit discombobulated, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Discombobulated is a weird word. I
Yeah.
feel like that's a word that old people would say. Definitely showing my millennial age. Because we're in a new room, and it's not even a room. It's a dining room, which is just so
I guess
crazy.
that's a room.
Yeah.
Dining room.
It's
in the name.
very specific sized room that feels way too big to do podcasting in. But you want to tell them why?
Yeah, we are moving house at the moment. So our old podcast studio is now a bedroom and our dining table is now a podcast studio. So if you're on YouTube, guys, drop a comment. I'd love to know what you think about our new kind of setup. So what we're covering in today's episode is we're going to talk about mindset and we're going to talk about taking actions to actually make a difference. We're talking about building one of the 5 paid ads funnels that actually bring in leads. Even if you're scared of paid ads, scared of wasting money, etc. And then we're going to talk about starting to outsource so you're not stuck doing everything yourself. Just a reminder here, guys, is if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, whatever platform you're on. We really appreciate that. Steph, do you want to kick us off with your personal update today?
Well, the reason that we're sitting in our dining room and not in our office is, like Tim said, we are in the process of moving house. So for those of you who maybe are new here or haven't been around for very long, we are in the process of moving to Thailand, which is incredibly exciting. At sometimes we are like, what the hell are we doing? And other times we're like really wildly dialed in and very pumped about it. This will be the last few episodes that we will do in this location before we actually make the move across to Thailand. I guess some tricky things go on behind the scenes of a international move. And one of the tricky things is that my mum is terminally ill. And up until, a couple of months ago, we actually didn't think that she would make Christmas. And she's taken a corner and she's actually gotten a lot better, which is great, which is incredible. Yep. So I didn't think that I was going to have to tell her that we were moving because we're moving in January. But because she just keeps getting better and better, I had to break the news to her this week. And it was something that I was so anxious about telling her because, for those of you who don't know, my father passed away about 4 months ago. And I didn't want her to feel like I was leaving her all alone. And so, these are some of the tricky conversations that you have to have when you decide to up and leave your life and move overseas. And I can't tell you, one, how supportive she was, which really blew my mind. I really thought that she would be very hurt and upset. But 2, how much relief the conversation was. And I think a reminder to anybody out there who may be sitting on a hard conversation that you need to have, a truth that that needs to be told, an honest and frank conversation with a team member or an employee or the person who's running your ads agency or whoever it is that you're feeling like you don't want to let them down, but you have to do something for you. My advice is to always have that conversation because you feel so much freer on the other side.
That's super deep.
They always
deep.
are.
Yeah, very deep from Steph. Yeah, mine's a bit more lighthearted and fun. So if you guys just cried listening to Steph's personal update, we're going to make it a bit fun. Don't worry. I'm a bit of a materialistic kind of guy. I know, I go back and forth on the podcast. I said fucking nothing matters a couple of months ago. Now I'm like, super excited. We're moving to Thailand so we can get some new shit. New shit being new vehicles. But what I didn't realize is you can't really buy too many vehicles in Thailand. They have this really crazy tax on cars. I think it's like 300% on anything that's not partly made in Thailand. So my options are basically anything Ford, which is okay, but probably not in the realm that I really wanted to play in at this level in my entrepreneurship career. But anyway, so we're going to talk about scooters today. So if you guys didn't know, there's different levels of scooters that you can purchase in Asia. You got small ones, you got medium ones, you got bigger ones, and then you got really big ones. So we were in Koh Samui the other week and we were on the back of a small scooter. And as soon as you hit a hill in a small scooter with 2 people, not good. Basically, it doesn't get up the hill. So I have been researching scooters like a mofo. I've been researching scooters like crazy. And it's actually got me really excited to get a scooter.
Yes.
But I'm not just getting a scooter. I'm getting a scooter looking thing with a motorbike engine in it. So it's called an XADV 750.
And where are you getting it from?
And I have to get it from something that's called Big Boy Honda in Surat Thani. So they only do over 300cc scooters, but super pumped for that. I'm going to be rolling around big dogging everyone on Koh Samui with this huge
It has
scooter.
like this insect bug repellent thing on the front. It's like very extreme. It's a very extreme scooter.
Would
Tim
you
is very
expect
excited.
Nothing less for us.
Big Boy Honda. I think they had you with a name.
Yeah, Big Boy Honda.
What are we talking about today?
So, I guess part one today, if you, like, there's I don't know who the quote is, I'm going to sound like Tony Robbins here on this podcast, but if you keep doing what you always do, you always get what you always got. So if 2025, that was 10 years ago, was not a great year for you in business, you're going to have to do something different next year. And usually, we can make some excuses and we can say some things didn't go our way. But at the end of the day, the results that anyone has in their life at the moment is due to the actions that they've taken in business. So it can be the wrong thing, can be the right thing. But 2026, let's clear the slate and we're going to lock the fuck in. And that's what we're talking about today, is locking the fuck in. So if you weren't playing all out, and we asked this in our 8-week plan. So we do an 8-week plan in Success School every 8 weeks with our clients, and they rate themselves in the last 8 weeks of like how hard they went. 10 is like they left no stone unturned and they went hard as fuck, and 1 is like they did fuck all, and everyone gives themselves a rating. The caveat here is you can't put a 7 in. Steph, why do people need to lock the fuck in next year?
The reason you, first of all, can't put a 7 in is because you're either a 6 or an 8. There's no in between. And those two numbers are very, very different. And so 7's one of those numbers that makes you feel like you're doing okay when actually you're not really doing okay. We don't settle for average. We're either below average or above average. And that's what we're hustling for.
Yep.
Why do you need to lock in? I think right now, honestly, the truth is that if you're listening to this podcast, you are in a window of opportunity. You're in a moment that will probably never exist again. And that moment is the fact that we are now AI supported. So we have so much opportunity for us to have access to the knowledge, the speed, the support, the wildest brains on the earth. We have access to all of this support that we didn't have access to the last 5 years. And people aren't yet utilizing it fully. And people haven't realized and still aren't optimizing using Facebook ads yet. Now, for everyone out there, it's baffling. For everyone out there who's like an anti-ads person, I just want to be really clear. Same. I used to be like this as well. And the reason I've become so pro ads is because I got so sick of having to perform for the algorithm. I got so sick of needing to show up every day on my stories and live my life on my friggin' phone so that I could make sales in my business. It just doesn't feel congruent for the value systems and the way that I want to live my life. And so what I found out when we started running ads was that ads stop that. Ads they work for you. They push your content to the right people. They help you find new followers. They help you start DM chats so you're not having to do any outreach. So the ads do so much of the work for you so that you can actually live in alignment with your values, get off the platforms, get off the apps, spend time with your family, be present in your life, take your family on holidays. It's incredible. And you're sitting there right now, and a lot of you are sitting there right now thinking, I don't want to run ads next year, or, Instagram used to work for me, or hope that I can do it better next year. You're just running in circles trying to play a game that other people are playing better than you, because content creators are spending 8 hours a day making content. They're going to win that game all day long. So right now is a window of opportunity. Right now is the reason that you should lock in. The fact that you're even listening to this episode in this time frame, like being across the November, December, January, Christmas period, means that you're the kind of person who is committed to their growth. And so now is the time to lock in. Tim, on the back of that, why do you think so many people stick to routines that don't work anymore?
I think routines are comfortable and safe. And I don't want you guys to be in a routine or comfortable and safe, because like death is in the comfort zone. Like your business will die if you just keep comfortable and doing the same things. And I'm going to be talking to specific people on this podcast right now, but if you're going to the same networking events with the same people, doing the same type of content, doing the same type of outreach, doing the same type of emails, and it's not working, it's time to fucking change it up. You just need to lock in and try different things. Steph, when was a time doing something uncomfortable led to a big result for you?
Like all the time.
Yeah.
Just everything we do. But like, I would say that running our Perth events was really nerve-wracking, and I wasn't sure how that was going to go. I think whenever you're doing something where you have to be with people in person, you kind of put a lot of additional pressure on yourself to make that thing work and make that thing incredible. And the last time we did a big Perth event, not only was it awesome to just hang out with our clients and see people in real life, but it was really an incredible way to grow the company. Like, people build a lot more trust with you when they can feel your energy and meet with you in person. And I was really nervous to do it. I wasn't sure it was going to work out. it, is a big upfront investment, and it paid off every single time. And I think a lot of people are scared to try something they haven't done before, whether it's a webinar or an event or something like that. So that's something that worked really well for us last year. What's something that you're planning to do in 2026 that maybe makes you feel a little bit stretchy?
Yeah. So we're planning a 3-day challenge in January. That might not sound stretchy to you, but the dollar amount that we've committed to ads for this is pretty stretchy. So we've put $50K budget into promoting this 3-day challenge, which is going to be mid to end of January. You guys can obviously jump on. It'll be paid. So there will be a small fee that you guys will need to pay to jump on if you guys are listening to the podcast, but you'll get a ton of value out of it. You'll get 10 or 20x the value that the 3-day challenge gives you. We're going to put $50K budget. Why that's stretchy for us is we've never spent that amount on a conversion event before, but if you don't take big swings, you will never get big results, and the bigger the swings you take, the bigger results you get. So for us, that's pretty stretchy. Like spending $50K on something without an actual return is like a huge investment.
Totally.
Like that's a deposit on a house for a lot of people. So like I'm a little bit nervous about that because that does come down to me, I guess, as
with
the ads person.
Big swings, do you want to talk about?
It's not, and also it's our money. Like it's not
Yes.
just like someone else's money I'm spending. It's
Yes.
like mythical made up. This is like money out of our account.
Personal accounts.
Yeah, it's like personal money. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about Atani?
Yeah, Atani. So there is a baseball player, his name's Sohi Atani, and he has a $700 million contract that he just got. And when he gets up to the plate, he doesn't try to bunt the ball. He tries to hit home runs every single time. And he's been doing that his whole career. So he's got some like crazy record, which is like 40 base steals and 40 home runs. I don't know if that's a season or whatever it is, but essentially he's like one of the most successful baseball players of all time and has been rewarded for it. But every time he gets up to the plate, he's trying to fucking hit the ball and smash it out of the park. And I think a lot of business owners, they just do really safe and they really just go for a bunt every single time. It's like they do outreach, they do 10 messages, not 100 or 1,000 messages. Or if they spend on ads, they spend $10 and not $100 a day on ads. And they're just playing really safe. Therefore, the results they get are really safe. Or not at all. Because if you just do the safe stuff, you're just going to blend in like everyone else does. And that's definitely not what you want. Steph, do you want to bring us in and tell us about our second thing to win in 2026?
Yeah. So to wrap up point one, I think lock the fuck in, take a big swing, do something you've never done before and go hard next year. To lead us into number two, we're going to be talking about paid ad funnels. And it's funny, actually, our podcast manager was like, you should not talk about paid ads because some people don't like paid ads. But we're really committed.
Yeah.
We love you, Alicia. We really are committed, though, to talking about paid ads because of how revolutionary they are for every business that we teach, every client that chooses to run ads. It's how revolutionary it's been for our own business. Most of you guys got into business because you wanted some level of lifestyle freedom. You wanted to not be attached to your phone. You wanted to be able to spend more time with your kids. You wanted to be able to go on holidays and not be needing to get online and post and engage and do all those sorts of things. And paid ads is an incredible vehicle to allow you to do that. And like I said, right now we have a window of opportunity where people aren't good enough yet, or not enough people are running towards paid ads. So most of you who are listening to this episode will be in what we call a blue ocean. You'll be one of the only people advertising in your niche, which means that you will crush and things will be very cheap for you. So now is a really great time to get onto paid ads. But you might be thinking, I don't know where to start, or I, wouldn't even know what to do, or you're talking about paid ad funnels. What the hell is an ad funnel? What does that look like? And so, Tim, talk us through kind of some of the ad funnels that we typically would recommend to somebody who was trying to scale up from like maybe $10,000 or $20,000 a month.
Yeah, for sure. So we were in Singapore a couple of months ago, and a friend of ours, Owen, he actually scaled his business from $100K months to $2 million months, which is absolutely wild. And he gave us 2 lessons, and we were sitting at lunch with him and sitting across from him. And he said his 2 lessons were he double your price and then double your ad spend every time. And I was like, if a guy that's making $2 million a month is telling me to double my ad spend, I should probably listen here. So there is like proof in that someone has gone from 100K a month to 2 million using paid ads. So I know 100K might seem a little bit out there if you're listening to this podcast right now, but essentially there are 6 funnels that you can use, okay? And what we mean by funnel is essentially taking someone that doesn't know you and getting them to book in a call or buy your shit, okay? It's pretty simple. Not like a beer funnel that you do in college that I did thousands of in my time at University of Arizona, which is incredible. Back to real funnels here. So we've got 6 funnels. You can do any of these, and if you guys need help with them, just jump on our website and you guys can book in a scale session and see how we can potentially work with you to set these up in your business. But we've got a DM funnel. Essentially, you're giving away value, and then you're getting someone in the DMs, and then we're trying to push them through to having a call with you. The second one is a lead magnet funnel. So we're giving them something of value, and then from there, we are obviously offering them a call, see if they want to implement. The next one from there is a VSL call funnel. So essentially, we're providing them value in the form of a video, and they're saying, if we want to implement this in your business, you can book in a call from there. The next one's a low ticket, high ticket, and these are getting incrementally harder as we go through these funnels. So low ticket is we're selling something for $50 to $250, and then on the back end offering them a call and selling them high ticket stuff on the back end. And then lastly, we have a conversion event. That's what we do every month. So we run these events where essentially we're giving value and then asking them if they want to implement this, they can book in a call. So there are like 6 ways that you can go through and essentially start running paid ads. The big issue is most people, they try to do like multiple of these and they don't have the right one dialed in at the right time for the right stages of business. And that's honestly what these next questions are about. Steph, what do you think is the best starting point for someone under 10K a month with paid ads? Is like a specific funnel that you recommend?
Totally. So we actually have this really cool resource that I'm going to give you guys access to for free today. So if you just DM me or Tim the word funnel, I will shoot you out a little free quiz that's going to tell you exactly which funnel is perfect for your stage of business, depending on how you currently get clients, how much you're currently making, how many team members you currently have. But typically for people who are maybe under 10K, around 10K, even under $20,000 a month, typically the best funnel is always going to be the DM funnel.
Yeah.
And the reason the DM funnel is going to be best is because it doesn't require a lot of additional tech or skills to get up and running. The way that a DM funnel works is that you would have a freebie on the front end. They would have to DM you to get access to it. Now you are able to start a conversation with that person, and you know that they're interested in the thing that you're advertising, which means that they are a perfect ideal client for you. Usually these people, if you're doing a DM funnel on Instagram, will usually end up following you as well. So it's a really great way to get paid followers, to get people in your DMs. To every day you can wake up with DM chat starts already started in your DMs. It's phenomenally simple to set up. Inside Success School, we teach our clients to do it every single day. Clients like Rich, I think Rich has been running a DM funnel, or effectively like a chat funnel for the last 6 months now. And he went from earning $200 a week to making $40,000 a month just using this funnel alone. So he gets them into the DMs and then he has conversations with them and then gets them booked onto sales calls. And so this funnel is phenomenal. And most of our clients that are getting started or kind of at that 10, 20K month mark will do the DM funnel first. Obviously, people are avoidant to run ads.
Yep.
What are the biggest mistakes that you see that people make when it comes to running ads?
The biggest mistake people make when running ads is actually not in the ads, it's in the thing after the ads. So everyone gets leads or they get followers or they get whatever, and then they're just awful at converting them. And then they blame it on the ads. They're like, my leads were shit. And that's like, what is your sales process? They don't have it. So I had someone literally on a call yesterday ask me, they're like, I'm spending a lot of money on ads and I'm not getting anywhere. And I'm like, so what happens after the ads? And they're like, oh, just hopefully they book in. And I'm like, there's no fucking structure here, dude. Like, no one's going to just book in. Like, you got to outbound.
They send email sequences. They're like, yeah. I send a nurture email sequence. I'm like, okay, just really for a second, just for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Put yourself in your client's shoes. When was the last time you read every email in an email sequence and then booked a sales call off the back of a freebie? Like, it's unlikely. You're playing the wrong game.
Yeah, 100%. Steph, how do you know when a funnel is ready to scale with ads? So let's say they set up a DM funnel or they set up a call funnel or they set up a low ticket to high ticket. How do you know if it's time to put on the gas on it?
The things that we look for if we're going to pour gas on our own ads to know that they're working and that we're not going to just waste money throwing money at Meta and it's not going to work for us is if we are able to make a profit in month 1. So let's say that all costs associated. So for example, let's say that you put $100 on ads and you get 10 leads and you sign 2 of them into your program and your program is $1,000 a month. If you've made profit in that first month, so you've signed 2 people, so you've made $2,000 and it cost you $1,000 in ads to sign those 2 people, that's probably not very good math, but I would highly recommend continuing to scale that up because it means that the cost of acquisition is covered in month 1. If you cannot cover the costs of getting and serving that client in month 1, you should not yet scale your ads up. But it's like a bit of a tricky one because some people are putting $10 a day on ads and it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's not profitable because you're just not spending enough. Like there is a portion where like, the more you spend initially, I would recommend putting a little bit more on at the beginning $50 a day and running a ton of ads and seeing if you do get any conversions within that. It's not going to happen straight away. Like it will take you a week or two to get a conversion through, because especially with DM funnel, you're going to have chats backwards, forwards and things like that. But if in that first month of spending on ads, you sign a client and that client pays for the ads plus some, like for sure you should scale that up. Am I getting that right?
No, you're right.
Perfect. Which funnel has worked best for us in our business and why?
Yeah, so traditionally we've always run just lead magnets, and they've worked really well. We have a database of 38,000 contacts on our Go High level, which is a lot of people, and that's primarily through lead magnets. And that's just been like chipping away, spending some money every month just to get someone's name, email, and phone number. We have like a really big database now, so multi-7-figure business, and we primarily did that through lead magnets, which is crazy.
And talk about like, because people will be thinking, okay, yeah, but cool. So they get the lead magnet and then what? So talk to everybody about kind of what our conversion mechanisms look like.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot, to be fair. And we've changed a lot over the years and tested a lot of different things. Yeah. What do you think the most effective channel has been for us to be able to take them from lead magnet to conversion? Yeah,
so a bit of an inside scoop here. So we run a monthly conversion event, which traditionally works extremely well for us. Some things we're dabbling in at the moment is we call it a founder call, and that's a Q&A call that Steph ran a couple of weeks ago. Essentially, anyone who was on the fence, we invited them to jump on a Q&A call, and we were just basically objection handling and talking about success call. And then from there, we also have like a book in a call funnel, which we run at the moment as well. So essentially, it's emailing people to come to a conversion event, come to a founder event, or book in a call with us. What you need to know about your prospects is each of them convert at different stages and have different mechanisms that they convert with. So there'll be a webinar person, there'll be a call person, there'll be like a Q&A person, there'll be like a text person. They'll all just convert differently. So you really need to like diversify the messaging of what people respond to as well and test different things.
Let's go into outsourcing, because what people may have just thought is like, oh my God, but how would I do all the DMs and how would I do all the sales calls? And I'm already doing so much marketing and all this stuff, right? So people start to freak out. And so we want to talk about outsourcing, because no, you shouldn't do everything, but you should do a lot of what we've been talking about today. We'll get to a point in your business where you won't be able to grow simply because it's just too much on you. And actually what will happen is that you will start to sabotage and not want to sign clients because it's going to be more work. And so when you're starting to feel that pinch of like, oh my God, I don't even know if I want to sign any more clients, and oh my gosh, I don't even know if I want to grow, that's a sign that it's time to really start outsourcing. And the thing that people do wrong when it comes to outsourcing so much is that they tend to outsource things that they really need to be doing and not outsource the things that they don't need to be doing. So, Tim, what kind of outsourcing is there? Talk us through the 4 roles that we typically see outsourced.
Yeah, so usually first one, it's a virtual assistant of some sort. I'd recommend anyone at like that 5-10K a month to have like even a part-time virtual assistant is incredible. We see people just get really stuck at the 10K a month mark because they're just doing everything themselves. You kind of almost need to sacrifice a bit of profit to get a VA to hand off some of the stuff too, so they can free you up to do other stuff. Next from there usually is delivery. So whatever kind of coaching or service or agency that you guys kind of run listening to this podcast, someone to help with delivery just to free up time on that. Next from there, it's usually sales. Founders, you listening to this podcast right now, you're generally going to be the best person at sales in your company. So letting go of that too early is almost criminal. Most of the time, founders need to be in the sales. And then if there is a sales issue, obviously jump back in and help that. And then lastly is marketing support and marketing help. That's the kind of 4 levels that I would suggest anyone to run. So if you're listening to this right now and you're like, fuck, I have no time, probably like VA is kind of where it's at.
Where do most people go wrong with the VA? Because like personally, I see with our clients and people trying to hand off stuff, the first thing they try to hand off is the last thing that you recommend handing off, right? So do you want to talk to that a little bit?
So a lot of our clients try to hand off their marketing and then their marketing goes shit. You need to put yourself in the frame of like, you're probably hiring a virtual assistant from a third world country, like let's call the Philippines or India, or wherever it is. They just have no contextual understanding of Western values or culture. And then you're asking them to create good marketing about something that they don't understand. That's like literally impossible. And then their content goes to shit. And then they're like, why is my business going backwards? It's because you outsourced the one thing that you really shouldn't outsource. And that's marketing most of the time. If you're going to outsource marketing, you want to outsource it to someone good.
Yes.
And that's why people pay top dollar for like an ads agency. Like a really good one will cost you 10K plus a profit share. And there's a reason for that. It's
totally.
Like that's not what I recommend.
And the second thing that I see them outsource is the DM setters too early.
Yeah. third world.
Yeah, to someone who doesn't speak English as a first language. And then they wonder why these things don't work for them.
Yeah.
When the thing that you really need to get off your plate, like I spoke to a founder this week who's almost at 7 figures, is still doing her own bookkeeping.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, hold on. That stuff should be outsourced, right? Like get the failed payments, the chasing of invoices, the sending of invoices, the reconciling in zeros, like all of the stuff, like the client questions in email about billing and updating credit cards and like get rid of all that stuff. Like that stuff should not be stuff that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Landing page builds, get rid of that. They focus on trying to outsource the hard stuff first, but you just need to free up all the admin time, and then you will have time to do marketing and have time to do admin.
Steph, who was your first hire and how did it change your business?
I hired a VA. Her name was Sheila. She was awesome. I didn't know she was awesome at the time because I had no real experience with this. But my first hire, Tim had told me that you could hire people in the Philippines for $10 an hour. And I was like, that is unbelievable. There is no way that is possible. That does not exist. And then I went on to Upwork, was where I first found Sheila. And I started her for 8 hours a week. And all she did was help me. I had an events business at the time, and we used to run all of our events on Eventbrite. I used to write all the copy for the events, and then she would go and create the events. And then she would also create our email marketing campaigns. I would write the copy and she would go and create those in MailerLite, the email marketing campaigns.
Back when you did it manually.
But yeah, and so she would do these things for me that, like, so I would just write into Google Docs, and then she would just go away and actually make those and bring those things to life and send those emails out to the list and do all the name tags and all that sort of stuff, and, handle customer inquiries and customer refunds and all that sort of stuff. And it was just 10 hours a week. And then I started my coaching arm of the business, and she came across to that business with us. And at that point, I realized that she was working 2 jobs at the time.
Yeah.
And I kind of started to realize that she was a bit of a genius, and I really actually needed her a lot more. So we brought her on full time into the company, and she stayed with us for 4 years before we just decided that it was no longer working. She wanted a slightly different lifestyle. And so we actually gave her to one of our clients. Gave her. We introduced her to one of our clients, Jess, and they've been working together ever since. And it's been really amazing to know that Sheila's like in great hands. But that was the first role I hired, and it was the best investment of all time. Tim, what was the hardest part about letting go of control when outsourcing?
So there are different types of leadership styles, and Steph and I are polar opposites. So they call mine laissez-faire. What's yours?
I don't know what mine. I'm more laissez-faire now because of you, but at the beginning, I don't know what the term is, but it's like control. Yeah, control freak.
So they're polar ends of the spectrum in terms of like leadership style. So essentially, what laissez-faire is, I don't give a fuck, and like I'll hand it off. So that's essentially what it is. So anytime I hired someone, I would just assume that they knew what they were doing and they had batteries included, and that always or usually went quite terribly for me. Sometimes it went great, and that's incredible. So when I first hired my first VA, I was basically like, Sai, she's still with us, bless her, work it out, like no instructions, like on anything, like there was no SOPs, nothing. And I became a better leader and better manager as a result of going through this and trying this with hundreds of people. But laissez-faire doesn't work when you don't have like serious A players. So if you've got someone who, you're paying probably 200, 300 grand and they're like a C-suite executive type thing, you could be laissez-faire and just tell them like what the outcome is that you want, and it works. It doesn't work at these entry-level positions that we're talking about here.
It can if you get really, really lucky and you find the right people. Yeah. And Tim and I found Sai and Sheila very early, and we have had many virtual assistants since then in different parts of the business that have not been as good. And there is a whole, and we could do a whole episode about this. There's a whole thing about hiring Filipinos and getting the right fit, and the recruitment process behind that, but that we teach inside Success School.
Let me tell you a story about when this went wrong.
Please, would love to hear it.
We hired some outside, we've done this multiple times, marketing assistants, and my laissez-faire just hands off the wheel. Typically, I've run marketing at Success School and Steph's company for a while, like on the back end, probably like going on 5 years now. And we've had a couple of people come in, and I've just let them run their own way of doing things or what they thought would work traditionally outside of what has worked for us to make a multi-million-dollar company. And the company went backwards. Yeah. Like both times that we did that. And I just trusted that I hired the right people to make the right decisions. Not that they were wrong or whatever it was. It's just I probably shouldn't have been so like hands off the wheel with it, which I did. Steph, how do you decide for someone listening right now, like what do they delegate first? Like, so if they've got some VA stuff, if they've got some delivery stuff, if they've got some sales, like what do you honestly recommend?
Honestly, you need to get out of the doing in your business. So anything anything that you can write in a Google Doc that then needs to be created somewhere else. So that could be email marketing campaigns, landing pages, Canva graphics, quote posts, carousel images, even reels that you have like fully directed that need to be made externally, video editing, anything like that should be off your plate. You should not be doing it. You should not be building your own landing pages. You should not be sending out your own email marketing campaigns. You should not be setting up the automations in the back end of your business. You should not be doing those things. And you don't need to be doing those things because you need to be going out and putting your face to camera and figuring out ads and having conversations in DMs with people that will convert into your program so that you can continually fund for somebody else to do the shit that you really, be honest with yourself, don't want to be doing, right? But so many people keep that stuff because they don't know how to hand it off.
Yeah.
And then they hand off the stuff like the DMs and it's usually laissez-faire. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll just let them do it. And they're terrible at it unless you can afford someone onshore. Our experience has been that offshore people from countries that don't have English as a first language really struggle to do DM setting and sales processes and things like that.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I get off my plate straight away. Yeah.
Steph, do you want to talk to us about, we had like the epiphany of focusing on the highest value tasks in our business. And recently that was sales calls. Do you want to talk to us about, I know a lot of people listening to this don't do sales calls because like they're maybe scared of it or they feel like they're wasting their time. But the epiphany we had about like hours per dollars like made on sales calls. And like, I just want to give that mind.
Yeah. I think when you look at people who are at the top of their game, whether that's you guys might look to us, we look to other people, obviously, we are always looking for how do they spend their time? Because ultimately, and you've heard this before, and this is not going to be groundbreaking, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So how the hell are they getting so much more done than me? Like, what does their day look like? How are they actively spending their time? What are they outsourcing? What are they delegating? What are they not doing? And what are they doing? And we've spoken to a lot of people who are at the $1 million per month mark in their business now, and all of them prioritize spending their days looking at their marketing, not necessarily doing it, but looking at it. Definitely, if they're the face of the company, definitely recording the videos required for marketing for sure. And sales, literally sales. So they literally are jumping on sales calls. Not all the time, like most of the time they have sales teams, but if sales team member is sick or if they have to jump in because there's an overflow of sales calls, they will jump in and they will take the sales calls. And the reason that they do that is because when you look at how much money you make per hour, the highest amount of money that you can make per hour is going to be done on a sales call. Because, for example, for us, if we sign somebody, that's $15,000 AUD that we make in that one conversation in that 1 hour. I cannot make more money per hour than I can in that hour. Well, I might be able to, but I haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah, OnlyFans doesn't work.
I think OnlyFans definitely. And so most people try to hand off, like if you make all your sales in your DMs, then that's where you should be spending your time. The first 3 hours of your day every day should be spent doing that one thing that makes you the most money. But yet we dilly-dally around in our freaking emails. We dilly-dally around replying to clients all the time because we're calling it good customer service instead of just doing the thing that we know that makes us the most amount of money that's going to free up the resources to be able to hire people, to be able to get more support, to be able to get off our phones. And yet you don't do it because you have some story about it. And the minute that we used to be the same, we were like, I wouldn't do sales calls for anything. Like, no. We've run that
we
line.
Yeah, it doesn't work if you're not famous.
Yeah, but if you're not famous, you should be getting on sales calls because that is going to be the most amount of money that you can make in a single hour, and it's 110% worth your time. Take that call.
I'll just talk to like people will be like, oh, I'm getting on with people that aren't buying. It's like, yeah, there's two reasons that's happening is A, like you might not be that great at sales and that's okay. And B is you're getting on with unqualified people. Never get on a sales call with someone who's unqualified and can't purchase your shoes. It's just a waste of time for anyone. But if you're getting on with people that are qualified, can afford you and have a problem that you can solve, then 100% you should be doing sales calls. Look, guys, that was a great episode. DM us either the word funnels on Instagram and we'll send you the funnel fix to show you which funnel you guys should be running on your Instagram. As always, guys, if you got to the end of the episode, you're an absolute legend, and hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. We'll see you next week. Next week, we're talking about how we're going to build $1 million a month education business. It's going to be a certified banger.
I'm so excited. We'll see you then, guys.